guys, Max here, and in this video I'm going to be doing a review of this. Now, what is this, you might ask? No, you won't, because you've seen it in the title and the thumbnail. But this, and probably the intro. Anyway, this is a cheap shunt, so I'm just doing this all on a budget. I've got a whole budget solar playlist. I've also got the thing I installed in the last video, which is to show how much power's coming in. I'll link that in the card up there. So you can go see that. And yeah, but it's all on a budget because my obviously plan for this channel was to get a van, basically. And I want to do a proper big solar setup then and spend a load of money, but I don't have a load of money now. I also don't have the van, so and I've got this, and I've got some solar power, and I just wanted to see if you could get a cheap shunt and what it was like. So I bought one. So over here in this camera, I've opened the box. It says DC 50 amp. The 10 amp one doesn't actually come with the shunt, but also what can you run off 10 amps? I've got a speaker that probably draws 10 amps with a phone and stuff, so I thought I'd go for 50 amp just for some clearance. I don't know what 14 is, just a model number. Anyway, so it comes with some cable. I've got some spare cable because it does have to reach up here. I might have to have some 4-core cable maybe though. I'm not entirely sure. This one I think, well, you can see the wiring on the back here. But here is like the shunt device itself, the actual thing. Does it have? Yes, it does have an opening. So looks a bit cheap. It's on a bit of plastic, but I'd say I think this was a tenner. It's not bad. You've got some cables that join the shunt to the meter itself, and then you've got an instruction manual, which I'm sure we won't need. So you got a red and a black cable, which I think is for an additional power supply, which we do not need. Then you have a red cable that goes from the battery to the meter into this slot here. Push it down, then it opens up the hole. So you probably can't see that, but you can see this. You push that down, and there's a little hole there, and then it goes in, and you clamp it shut, and that's tight. In fact, that's quite a clever design. I do like that. And in the black, this black cable goes to the negative, so you push that down there. You probably don't need a screwdriver, probably just use your fingers. So I'm going to have to extend these because my battery's down underneath, but that's fine. And then you've got these little things, but I can do another crimp. And that's it wired up. So then that goes to the positive and the negative of your battery. The negative of your battery comes in where the blue side is, so that's the battery side, and then the yellow side is where your load comes off. I'm not going to do where the solar is, and this meter only shows you what's coming out, which is fine because I've got the other meter I installed in the last video, which I talked to you about. So you have these two cables that are for an additional power supply if the battery is a battery you want to monitor below 8 volts. So if your battery voltage has a voltage of below 8 volts, then you need an additional power supply. But I imagine most of you watching this are going to be doing this with a 12 volt, possibly a 24 volt battery. So yeah, so I'll just test this outside as it is like this. I'll take you and then I'll cut it, and then I'll show you the proper version. So here it is. So the negative goes to there, and then where it says extra power supply, this cable here, I just put it onto there because it says put it onto the battery, but that means putting another one on this thing. But I just put it down to there, and then that also connects to the battery. It doesn't do any difference whether it's there or there because it's along the same bit of cable. So now you can see here I haven't. So and then the positive, you've got two coming off the positive because this is the load of the positive, and of the negative, and this is the load of the positive because the positive stays as it is. So here, if you can see, we have 17.4 ohms resistance here. We're drawing 755 milliamps, and then we got a voltage of 13.1 volts, which means it's fully charged, which it is. I'm sure if I were to disconnect solar, that would drop down a bit, and it would slowly drop down. But yeah, I'm going to grab some cable. So I need, as you can see, there's red, black, blue and yellow coming out of here, so I need some 4-core cable to extend it up where this cable is, up to the window, which I know is out of focus, but it's not autofocus. So yeah, I'll go grab some cable, do all that, and I'll show you when it's inside. So here it is in. Slight difference in voltage, but that might be because of losses and inefficiencies. But yeah, so if you want to see this video, like I said, I linked it in there. I'll also link the playlist up here too, so you can go check that out. The budget solar playlist, this will also be going in it. As you can see, yeah, it's all working well. So I'll give you an update tomorrow morning, along with, like I did with the last video. So yeah, so I hope you're enjoying the little solar things, and I hope you did enjoy all the van videos if you're a regular viewer. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. So here it is in now the next morning, and it's all been working well. So I reset it just before I went to bed, so because I leave my phone plugged in. So obviously there was nothing coming in, but it showed how much I'd used in the night, which was surprisingly only about 200 milliamp hours. So really not much at all. And I reset the time as well, and then also I did it this morning as well. So this morning I've used 2.4, I've been running the speaker, I've been charging my phone, and that's 6.5 hours. And yeah, so you can reset it, and you just press that to turn the display off, I worked out. So that's obviously, that's the button for everything, so you turn it off and you hold it down to change everything, but you just click it to turn the display off, and it doesn't reset anything, it just turns it off. So obviously the batteries are full at the moment, it's very bright outside, and so there's no solar coming in. But on this other meter from the last video, as you can see, we've got 0.7, which is 700 milliamp hours, so it's basically replacing exactly what I'm using. I'm using 800 milliamp hours at the moment because I have a battery charger charging just over there. So that, when the battery's full, obviously that equates to that, because we've got loads of, well, as long as you've got loads of solar coming in, which we have. So it's only bringing in the amount that is needed. I don't get the resistance. If anyone wants to tell me and anyone knows, be sure to drop it in the comments below, because I much appreciate that. And then we got another one there in INTR resistance, not sure. But anyway, the running time, so you just know exactly what you've used. You're showing the watts, which I don't really look at. I look at the voltage, the bars here, even though I kind of know voltage to bars anyway, but it's useful to look at. I look at how much I'm drawing, which also, if you look at how much is coming in, you know whether to not plug something in, how much to turn the speaker up, so how much current it's using. And you also see how much you've used, and that often then you can see how much you've also produced, and whether you can get away with tomorrow maybe using a bit more power for the amount you've produced, obviously as long as it's just sunny. But as you can see now, both voltages are now dropping, and then the sun's coming back out, so now they're starting to climb again, and now it's going back in, coming out. So yeah, a few clouds today, but I would definitely recommend this for £10, this little cheap eBay shunt. I know I extended it and everything, so if you've got some cable, you can easily just extend the cable. They all come out here, as you can kind of see. But yeah, so I definitely recommend getting this if you're on a budget setup and you want to monitor. And obviously this doesn't show how much is coming in, so that's why that's useful from last video. And then this doesn't show what you're drawing or anything, so this is just a controller. This I could now move down to where the batteries are, because this doesn't show anything interesting now. I can see the solar coming in because, well, it's light outside, and I can see how much here, and I can see how much I'm drawing, so this I don't look at anymore. So if you enjoyed the video, please do hit the like button. Check out the playlist. I'll be sure to link it up here, because that playlist has all the budget things, and then if you want to know how to wire your own solar setup, I've got a couple of ones on my dad's solar system and a couple of tutorials sat on my desk on wiring diagrams, which I'll link the how-to playlist also up here. So if you're doing your own setup, I hope my system helps a bit. I hope you enjoyed this video. Any other budget setups, like I said, go check out the playlist. And for van videos, they should be coming soon. I hope you like the previous ones, hopefully a few more coming in the next week or something. So yeah, hit the like button if you did like it, the subscribe button, much appreciated, it's free, and the bell icon by the side of it, because then you know when I upload, which is Mondays, Wednesdays and Saturdays. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video.